Welcome to Atlanta, jacking hammers and bows. Back to the mackin' and jacking the clothes. Adolescents packing the foes. A knock on the door. Who is it? I would happen to know, the one with the flow. Who did it? It was me, I suppose. JD in the rolls and Luda's in the cut supreme. Skating down old Nat, tucked and lean. I split your spleen, as a matter of fact, I split your team. No blood on the sneaks, gotta keep it so my kicks is clean.
And welcome back, everybody. We got a little bit of news here before we get into our next episode here on the All Around Atlanta Sports Podcast, or Atlanta Teen Sports Center, whatever you prefer to call us. For now, I'm your host, Blake Newsome, joined by my co-host, Connor Quinn. And the reason I'm sounding a little bit cringy saying this is I am officially back in school today. Yes, it's July 31st, and Cobb County decides, and along with, actually, I was thinking, because Jordan, who goes to the Marietta City District, which I used to go to. Sorry, Jordan, if I just shouted you out there. But he goes back Thursday, so basically, because I have two devices, that's the whole reason I'm able to have a co-host with my phone, and I'm doing this from my iPad. But anyway, getting to the point, I go back to school July 31st this year, which sucks. Connor doesn't go back until next Monday, which is, your first day of school, Connor? The 6th or something?
Yeah, August 7th.
7th, so I might not be Connor might be hosting the next few shows here. He's thinking about doing another Gladiators and Thrashers show based on the Gladiators, but he'll put some Thrashers info in there based on. Make sure to follow him on his new Instagram changed. And make sure to follow our new Instagram, by the way. It's on Instagram. It's all lowercase, all one word, Atlanta Teen Sports Center. So make sure to follow us. We post some stuff on there. We post stuff on our story, too. But yeah.
And my new Instagram name, Thrashers Tribute _ATLUTD News.
And you heard him there. Another neat thing to get into is the Dodgers come to town starting tomorrow, August 1st. And if any of you YouTube fans out there know about the show, know about the YouTube channel Dodger Films, he'll be at the game tomorrow watching his Dodgers play in Section 146. So hopefully, my mom decides yes, I'll be able to go and meet one of my favorite YouTubers. Even though he doesn't really do Dodgers games anymore, he's turned his channel into like a gaming channel. But anyway, we'll get on to the podcast here. Connor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. And how about them Atlanta United? That's what the show's on.
I finished there on Saturday night. Yeah. I was in attendance. Very well done.
Yeah, that's if we never told you yet, this is another edition of the Atlanta United show. So we kind of went 2 minutes into the show without telling him exactly what it is, but anyway. So if you guys saw in our story, if you do follow us on Instagram, it was a bit funny because Jay, Jordan, and Connor were all in attendance on Saturday, and I'll get to your point in a second here, Connor. But I was watching it from my home theater, which is still pretty darn nice. I love it. I'm always down here when I can. But I came down here, and I was where I'm actually recording from right now, and I was watching the game, and it was very exciting, especially when I got to crunch time and we were still in the game, and then we also had a chance to win it at the end. It was great, and I think didn't I post the goal? I've actually forgotten of the tire and the extras and this extended time. I think I did.
Yes, I think I saw that you put the reaction and like the goal celebration.
Well, that was on the story, but I also I think I also posted a picture, the video from somebody.
Oh yeah, that's right on our podcast page.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear us the first time, we have a new Instagram and Twitter. Instagram's a little bit different. I'll check on that with you here in a second. But our Instagram is Atlanta Teen Sports Center, all lowercase, all one word, and I will check on the Twitter here 1 second. So Connor, while I'm pulling this up, how about you get to your point on why you like the Atlanta United game this Saturday, and how fun was it to be able to I don't know if you guys saw each other or not, but how was it cool seeing all three of you guys were in attendance, and I was just the only one missing out, because, to be honest, sorry Scott, sorry Ethan, we're basically the big four here, because it's always been me, Jordan, Connor, and me. Connor, Jordan, Jay, or me. You guys are a big part, too. There's 10 of us officially. We're trying to get Deacon Broda, a.k.a. R.I.P. Thrasher, on the show, too, but if you just saw, there's about 10 of us in the crew now, but yeah. I'll get to your point, Connor, and how fun the game was this Saturday.
It was very energetic when they scored that goal right in stoppage time. It was in about the second minute of stoppage time. I felt the stadium shaking everyone and Tito Villalba leaped in the stands for his goal celebration. Everyone just it really felt like a win to Atlanta United, and so much as a loss to Orlando City, because they were just like 3 minutes away from getting the 3 points and marching out of there and getting revenge from last Friday night's disappointing loss for them when Tito Villalba launched it into the net. And then you have Tito Villalba again saying no, not so fast, and then getting the pass from Yamil Assad, and then he puts it in. It's just very great teamwork. I thought, of course, like I said, they had many opportunities to win in the game, and they definitely. Another thing I noticed too during the game is they were a little bit like they were kind of not doing so well passing the ball. They were getting a little bit desperate in the second half.
Yeah.
I was listening to Tata Martino's press conference earlier, and there was a translator there, of course, because he speaks Spanish. And then he admitted, I was just basically just getting a little desperate there towards the end, trying to put one in the net. And eventually they got that play, and they definitely cashed in on that last little thing there. And of course, like you said, they had a chance to win it at the end, which really would have been a heartbreaker for Orlando City, because there were a lot of fans there from out of town there, including there was a fan that was a few fans sitting next to me and in front of me that drove up from Orlando to see the game.
And I'm gonna say, based on what you said, is breaking news. Wait, hold on. Hold up. Getting a little bit off grammar here. Sorry. Let me clean that up for a second on how I say this, and let me just pause it because I'm getting off topic and I'm getting cringy. So be with you guys in a second. Let me regroup. And I had to think of what I had to say there because I completely forgot as I hear my dog barking in the background. Sorry, guys. I was talking about, if you saw another one of our Instagram stories, is they were not really clicking, as Connor said, late in the game or in the second half. Looks like they kept turning the ball over, or that every break they got would stop. They had like 2 post shots in the first half, which is sad that they weren't able to capitalize on either of them. And I think they had a few corners there in the first half as well, but nothing really happened off that first half. But it was still a pretty exciting game, a good, as Connor said, as well. As a point for Atlanta and a win felt like a win, and the tie felt like a win, and a loss for Orlando City, just like the announcer said on Fox last Saturday. Moving on to getting back to our Twitter username. If you guys want to follow us, it's all lowercase, all one word. I'll spell it out: ATL Teens Sports, ATLTEENSSPORTS. That's ATL Team Sports, and make sure to follow us on Twitter too. I think we'll be more active on Instagram because that's what Connor and I both use. And while I'm on here, I see you've already retweeted, Connor. Good for you. Is that another sellout for Mercedes-Benz? Just how Bobby Dahl was all this whole time, and against FC Dallas of all teams, when it looks like one of the better teams in the league. And it's going to be a sellout here to start out the new home. And Connor, I'm going to get your thoughts on that.
Mercedes-Benz.
I'm going to get your thoughts on that, on how Atlanta keeps selling out here.
Well, it's definitely, like I said earlier about the stadium, it was the loudest it's ever been on that goal score from Tito Villalba there to make that a draw. Just, it was louder than I've ever heard in the past, 2 games that I've been to. It's been the loudest of all of them because it just came in the clutchest moment and saved the 3 points from Orlando and possibly could have moved them desperately down in the standings.
That's definitely true because Atlanta still is only a few games ahead of the playoff line. There's still a few losses and 1 or 2 losses here, and they could be back below it. As I heard the announcer saying earlier in the game that Orlando City was first in the conference, but then dropped a few. I think they've only won 1 or 2 out of their last 15 or so games, it seems like. They've drawn a few, but they've lost quite a lot of their matches and have fallen below the playoff line as Toronto is completely taking control of the East here, with New York, Atlanta, and Chicago all at least a few matches behind. There's still a lot to play, though. Because this is my first season following the MLS, to be honest. Connor, I'm going to ask you, what time of the year does the MLS playoffs start?
So it starts around early to mid-October.
So it's basically around the same time as the MLB postseason rolls around, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So it's kind of funny how the MLB and MLS run a little bit parallel to each other. Thing is, I think the MLS stretches a little bit longer because, they have a little bit longer stretches in between games, but MLB plays 5-6 times a week. And they play from April all the way to September, and then they play another month in October of postseason. And then I can't forget, they have spring training, but they play from April to, seems like the end of October. While in MLS, they started, it seems like early, I forget what it really was, but wasn't it, I believe it was early March when they had that first match against New York, the Red Bulls.
New York Red Bulls,
yeah. I believe it was early March. It shows that I think the MLS goes a little bit longer, and I think because they have a little bit more games to play in the postseason with two different...
two legs.
Yeah, so it definitely shows that... wait, is it double elimination?
No, it's not double elimination, but there's, it's based on how many goals you scored in those two games, who moves on.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Well, it shows that the MLS is a little bit longer than the MLB when you think about it from start to finish, but MLB... Hold on, guys. I had to pause that really quickly, guys, but I'm going to go back to you on what you were saying, Connor. Connor?
Oh, what's that? Oh. What was I saying?
Alright, we'll just move on.
I think you were talking.
Anyway, we'll move on to a few soccer matches that happened this week and upcoming. It's Monday, so currently on Wednesday, we'll move on to the MLS All-Star game coming up here in the next few days, coming up against Ronaldo and Real Madrid coming to town. Hopefully Ronaldo will be back for this game because, first we'll talk about the El Clasico, which happened in Miami just on Saturday night after the Atlanta United game on ESPN, which is a 3-2 exciting game. A lot of early goals I heard because... Quick story, my home theater, I have a different outlet for my PS4 and my projector, so when I kept trying to fiddle with the system to try to get my PS4 to come back on because it wasn't working, so not even the volume or anything was working, so while I was doing that, I kept walking back in from the storage room next to my home theater area, right next door behind the wall where everything is set up. So every time I came back out to see if the projector was on, the cable would still be on, and it was the Ronaldo versus Messi showdown. And even though Ronaldo wasn't in it, I'll get to that in a second. But I kept seeing that the goals kept getting scored. It was 1-0 when I came out within the first few minutes, and it was 2-0 Barca, then it was 2-1 Barcelona. And I think Barcelona ended up winning 3-2 in the final. Connor, I'm gonna get your thoughts because you watched most of the game. I didn't watch much of it.
Yeah, a lot of early goals. Definitely, Messi got the first goal, which was
did?
in the third minute, I believe.
Oh, I didn't even know Messi scored that. Thank you for that fact. You can continue.
Yeah. Just a lot of early goals in the game. It was 2-2 at halftime. I actually kind of turned it on a little bit late, and it was during the Mark Anthony concert at halftime, and they were going through the highlights in the first. And I'm like, wow. There were definitely some goals scored here. Then they were showing the Messi's goal in the third minute, and I just looked back, and then right after halftime, Barcelona scored the third goal right off of a header.
And while we're at soccer, because we are doing a soccer show, I'm going to get your thoughts on Neymar and what he should do. Should he transfer to the France league, or should he stay where he is with Messi and Barcelona?
Well, I think that he should stay in Barcelona, and here's why. It's just basically where he's been almost his entire career, and he really doesn't have anything to lose by going or by staying in Barcelona. Hold on. Never mind. Anyway, so I think he should stay in Barcelona. Is basically,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blake.
Anyway, I agree with you there. I didn't really have much thought to it, but I think it's just smart for him to stay with FC Barcelona in the Spanish league, where he has a lot of competition in that league. I think that league is one of that and the English Premier League, I think, are the best competition pretty much based on what I know, because I don't follow much of European soccer. I follow mostly international and the MLS. But what I know, I think it's the Spanish league and the English Premier League that have the best competition out of the European area. Is that true? I don't know about that, Connor.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, lucky guess for me. Anyway, we'll stay with Barcelona. I mean, with FC. We'll stay with Real Madrid here. With the Ronaldo talking why he wasn't playing in the game the other night against Barcelona is because he was supposed to be in court today, Monday, for tax evasions. We won't go into that, but that's the whole reason if you guys didn't know why he wasn't playing Saturday night. And yeah, pretty interesting. Do you think I keep getting the same teams mixed up. Do you think FC... Oh my god. Sorry for the random pauses today. I'm just a little bit off. Sorry about that. I might as well let Connor just do all the shows for the rest of the week.
There is something I'd like to say before you get to that point, Blake.
Yeah.
I saw an article earlier written by AJC that they've released that little that black rug off, and they're about to chalk up the turf to make it and get ready for the August 26th Falcons preseason game.
So they're gonna take out the turf for the Atlanta United game?
No, I'm just saying there was like a black rug over it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they took it off today because the roof is now ready and closed.
I heard they're doing that for Turner Field, especially too for Georgia State. They're trying to get ready for that for Georgia State to be able to play football this fall. And I tell you, Turner Field was the season ticket holder for many years there with my dad. It looks very strange to be a football stadium and to be converted once again. I tell you,
yes, I've seen pictures of it. It looks nothing like the way Turner Field just was.
I mean, it does. It just looks like it's been turned, legit.
Yeah,
it looks like it's been reformed.
They've messed up the shape a little bit because it was really symmetrical the way it was when it was baseball, but then they just switched it all around and made it more look like a football stadium.
The one thing I think they'll keep is the concourse, and I think they'll try to keep it as long as they can because the Braves play there for many years, and that will get more attraction and more tourism here later this fall for people to want to come to a Georgia State game out of all places, because it used to be the Braves' old stadium, and it's still a functioning place for Georgia State to play football. But yeah, that's what's kind of cool about it. Anyway, getting back to soccer, what are your predictions on what happens in the MLS All-Star game that you will be able to watch on Wednesday and I will not be able to?
Well, it's definitely going to be a very good game. It's still unknown, or maybe it is known. I'm not exactly sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can contact me through DMs or anything at Thrashers Tribute _ATLUTD News. But I think Ronaldo is playing, or maybe I'm incorrect on that. And I think they'll definitely be playing a lot of their starters. So it'll be a good game to watch. And if you don't know what time it is, it'll be at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's at 9 o'clock. I think that's the time the pregame show starts, actually. I think it's at 9:30, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So 9 or 9:30 is when the game will start at Soldier Field in Chicago.
So, yeah, I definitely think it'll be around that time. I think that'll be a very exciting match. Playing FC Real Madrid. I mean, why do I keep saying FC? I feel like I want to say FC Barcelona, then I correct myself, and then I get mixed up. Sorry, as I said, I'm off today.
That's actually their name, FC Barcelona.
I know, because I keep wanting to say FC Barcelona, and then when I mean to say Real Madrid. But yeah. Anyway, sorry for the off day, guys. As I said, Connor hopefully will be able to fill in for some shows so I'll be able to get back to a 100% podcaster because, as I said, I'm back in school and I am a little bit rusty because I was at sports broadcasting camp up in Boston and the week before in Atlanta, so my voice is a little bit tired. I'm kind of shifted around from a bunch of different broadcasting from camp as they try to teach us a bunch of different elements, so that's what I'm a little bit worn out on is I'm trying to figure out which way I'm supposed to go here as I've been confused on how many different types of elements there are. But yeah, getting on to the MLS, see if I can find the MLS roster here for the All-Stars is, let's see if this is the right page. And it appears to be, nope, let me pause this one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And getting back here, sorry, I had to pull up a note that I apparently lost in my Safari browser, is we're pulling up the MLS All-Star roster on MLSsoccer.com. That's according to them. Don't know if it's absolutely right. I'm guessing it is because it's the actual site for MLS Soccer. But getting to the point, the MLS All-Star roster this year Starting with the forwards, you got Josie Altidore from Toronto FC and the U.S. international team, Dallin Dwyer from Orlando City, Sebastian Giovinco from Toronto.
Giovanco.
Sorry if I mispronounced names I was about to say. Nemanja Nikolic from Chicago Fire.
Nikovic.
David Villa from New York City FC.
David Villa.
Okay. You just correct me like you're doing. Kellen Acosta from FC Dallas. Yes, Miguel Almiron, our boy from Atlanta. Let's give him a hand.
Cringe.
Michael Bradley from the U.S. international team and Toronto FC. Giovanni Dos Santos from LA Galaxy. Kaká from Orlando City. Dax McCarty from Chicago Fire. Ignacio Piatti from Montreal Impact. Bastian I don't even want to try announcing that last name. He's from Chicago Fire. Diego Valerie from the Portland Timbers. Moving on to the defenders, DeMarcus Beasley from the Houston Dynamo. And then we got another homeboy coming up here. Let's give a hand to our boy. You want to announce his name, Connor?
Greg Garza.
Yeah, let's give a hand for him, guys. Yeah, sorry for the cringe, guys. I just feel like it's a cringy day, isn't it, Connor?
Yeah, it is.
Alright. So it's his first time All-Star here. He's with our boy Atlanta United. And then we move on to FC Dallas, Hernan Grana. Matt Hedges, also from FC Dallas, both of those guys. Johan Kappelhoff from Chicago Fire. Another guy from Atlanta, Michael Parker. So let's also give Michael Parker's a hand, everybody. It looks like the call with Connor just dropped, and I'll just go on with the rest of this. We got Jelle Van Dam from LA Galaxy and Graham Zusi from the U.S. international team in Sporting KC. And Connor officially has to go, guys. He had to do something, so I'm going to have to take over for the rest of the show myself. Not much else to go on here, but we got Stefan Fry for the goalkeepers from Seattle Sounders FC and Tim Howard from the Colorado Rapids and the U.S. international team. And for the final subject of the day, we have the Atlanta United upcoming schedule here. We got Sporting KC on August 6th, and we have DC United on August 23rd. So the first game officially will be against FC Dallas coming up on September 10th. So it looks like Atlanta's got a long road trip coming, going to Kansas City first to take on Sporting, then going back to DC to take on the United up there. Then they play the Soul out in Philadelphia before coming to town for the first ever game in Mercedes-Benz to play FC Dallas. Well, Atlanta United's still in a very good position here to make the playoffs. I think they're a very dangerous team. I really don't see many teams that'll trouble us like the team that we're currently facing, I believe, which would be New York City FC. Definitely think we can beat them up there. I know we lost to them earlier this year up in Yankee Stadium, but I think we'll beat them this time. Oops, sorry, I think I just hiccuped. Anyway, before this show gets too cringy, I think, unless it already has, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for listening to another All Around Atlanta Sports podcast. As I said, Connor will most likely be filling in for me the next few shows, unless I do one in the afternoon when I get home from school. But this has been another episode of the All Around Atlanta Sports podcast, or the Atlanta Teen Sports Center, whatever you prefer to call us. I'm Blake Newsome, and Connor Quinn was originally here. He had to hang up a few minutes ago because he had to go do something. I'll see you guys next time, so unite and conquer, everybody.